Good Sunday evening, South Carolina Weather Watchers. I'm the host for South Carolina Weather, Jesse Peterson. Let's go ahead and talk about the weather for your Sunday evening. Looking at the weather right now for just South Carolina, just the radar, you can see that mainly if you're in like Columbia, down towards like Charleston, Conway, Beaufort, Myrtle Beach, you're probably looking fine right now. We do have a couple of showers over here near Edgefield and McCormick, and some thunderstorms up here for the upstate or the upper half of South Carolina. That's going through Union, Gaffney right now. Some showers going through Greenville and up there towards the North Carolina, South Carolina border, as well as the Rock Hill, Chester, and Lancaster as well. Severe thunderstorm watch that goes all the way up from pretty much Canada down towards the upstate of South Carolina. We have damage reports that goes all the way through this region as well. Northeast is looking fine as well. Let's go ahead and switch over to the MRMS as well. Northeast again looking fine. Down here near Florida looking fine. We have a kind of like a regional tornado outbreak going on right now inside of Illinois, Missouri, the Boot Hill, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas as well. So that is all that. Here is our rain all the way up here inside of the central United States, as well as up here for the northern United States as well. Do have some storms that goes all the way from Kansas all the way up into Iowa, southwestern Iowa. And then we do have some scattered to isolated, probably isolated rain showers going through the northwest right now. So it's not a lot. Let's go ahead and talk about cloud cover. So looking at it right now, cloud cover right now for pretty much Columbia, Augusta, all the way up into North Carolina. We do have some kind of like some mid to heavy level clouds going into like eastern Myrtle Beach, and over there near the like Ridgeville area, we have like some light cloud cover, not much. Here is our cloud cover total percentage. If you go ahead and keep moving this forward, you can see as we go ahead and try to continue. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong button. That probably explains why nothing's moving. But if you go ahead and continue moving this forward, you can see that that cloud cover will start to work its way eastward, and more will come into the west like late tonight. And then as we get into tomorrow morning, we're going to have some clear skies over there inside of the Low Country PD and the southern Midlands of South Carolina, but the upstate, not going to be too lucky. And there goes, it's pretty much going to be like this line of, kind of like this line of rain that's going to be pushing through. And you can clearly see the clouds and then the clear space. That's why we have all of that. That's why we pretty much have that cloud cover and the slight risk of severe weather for tomorrow, which we'll talk about that in a second. Current temperatures right now, 86 in Columbia, 79 in Charleston, 77 in Myrtle Beach, 79 in Greenville, 80 in Rock Hill, 86 in Augusta, and 80 in Savannah. Low temperatures for tonight, 76 in Charleston, 76 in Hilton Head Island. So it's not going to be that cool tonight. It's actually going to be warm out there. 73 in Myrtle Beach, 73 Columbia, 72 in Sumter, 72 in Aiken. But when we get to the upstate, it starts to kind of drop a little bit more. 67 in Greenville, 68 in Spartanburg, 69 in Rock Hill, 70 in Greenwood. Here's our forecasted precipitation for the next 24 or so hours. You can see that Myrtle Beach, Georgetown, Hilton Head Island kind of get spared a little bit for the next 24 hours, according to the National Weather Service of Columbia. Good half an inch to an inch possible for Sumter, quarter of an inch to a half an inch possible for Barnwell, as well as a half an inch and an inch possible for Greenville, Anderson, Lawrence, even a half an inch possible for Greenwood, and a quarter of an inch for Columbia as well. Here is our SPC outlook for today going into tonight. We still are under that marginal and that slight risk of severe weather. I do think that marginal risk might get shrunken a little bit in the next update, just because I just don't really see the severe threat really anymore, kind of towards like the Low Country and the PD region of South Carolina. Obviously, some stuff can change, but according to some of the models earlier, they were saying that most of it would kind of dissipate, but we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and move on to tomorrow, though. So this is another big day, probably the biggest day for all of us. We have a slight risk that pretty much encompasses the entire state except for down here for the coastal low country regions of South Carolina, Charleston, Hilton Head Island, Beaufort, as well, Tidal Berkeley County, Tidal Colleton County, as well as Jasper County as well, and Beaufort County as well. So anyone inside those counties need to be watching out for just for some isolated storms, but everyone else inside the state needs to be watching out for some scattered severe weather. This does come with a 15% chance of damaging winds and a 15% chance of damaging hail. So wind and hail are going to be the big threat with this. Tornadoes cannot be ruled out in like the Rock Hill, Lancaster, Northern Horry County regions as well, where we do have a 2% chance of tornadoes. Now let's go ahead and show the models and see what they show. Go into scene 2 to the 18Z. So here's the 18Z. Right here, we're going to slowly push this forward. And you can already see the severe thunderstorm watch over here. There goes all like these storms and these showers right here kind of dissipate. Like I said, again, not really watching too much for tonight. It's these storms that we're going to have to watch out. Look at 7 a.m. We already have some storms pushing into Tennessee, North Carolina, and then they start pushing into South Carolina around 10 a.m. We continue pushing forward. Here's 12 o'clock. You can start to see that the storms start to push even further down into South Carolina, and they even re-intensify. Look at these storms right here doing probably some pretty major stuff going on around 5 o'clock. Just a huge line. And then once we get closer to like Florence, Manning, Orangeburg, Barnwell, Allendale, around 6 o'clock, we're going to zoom in a little bit more. And then we'll get to like Conway, Loris, Johnsonville, King Street, Bowman, Branchville, Reevesville, Fairfax, and Allendale around 7 o'clock. Then it'll get down here towards Moncks Corner, Ridgeville, Sutterville, Lincolnville, Latson, Cottageville, Sheldon, South Carolina around 8 o'clock as well. Start to push into North Myrtle Beach as well. 9 o'clock, it starts to push into like downtown Charleston, Folly Beach, close towards Beaufort and Hilton Head around 10 o'clock as well. So this is going to be pretty much an all-day threat. We're going to have this long line of storms that's going to slowly be moving across the state. And it's going to be causing severe weather all throughout tomorrow, throughout the entire state. You will get hit by this. There's a good chance that you will be, just because of how big this system is. So there's a good chance that you could be hit. There's a good chance that you might just get hit with some rain, and that's it. But I do think that you will definitely get some rain tomorrow for sure. If I was to guess, I would say that you probably will have the chance to get some rain tomorrow. We will take questions in a second if anyone has any any type of questions. Like if you have anybody that's in like a different area, not necessarily inside South Carolina, or if you have a question for where you are inside South Carolina and what your main threats are, and what's the timing going to be on them, I will go on ahead and talk about that in a second after we're done with all of this. But again, that will be off in the coast at around, I'd say around 3 to 4 a.m. And then after that, that's pretty much all we're watching for. So let's go on ahead and talk about the excessive rainfall. So here we go. We're going to see if we have any excessive rainfall for us for tomorrow. But here's today. We do have okay, what the world's going on there? All right. So we do have, seems to be a marginal risk of excessive rainfall for the very northern, like upstate region of South Carolina as well. Not much. If we go to day 2, tomorrow, we do have a marginal risk that kind of skips over like Columbia, Florence, Sumter as well. Rock Hill, it kind of just covers like the coast up there towards like Orangeburg, south of Columbia, and then kind of all the way up into the upstate. Very weird shape. We go into day 3. This is Tuesday. Nothing for Tuesday. Here is for Wednesday. Nothing for Wednesday. And here is Thursday. Nothing for Thursday. Let's go ahead and talk about the tropics. Nothing's going on for the next 7 days. If you read the discussion, Nothing going on. Tropical cyclone formation is not expected for the next 7 days. And then now let's go ahead and talk about the future. So here is the GFS model. Zoom our way down towards the southeast, and this storm system is going to pass us. It's going to be out of our hair. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, Wednesday could potentially bring some showers down to the southern portion of South Carolina, the low country, and the southern PD regions. Florida is going to be getting hit by some pretty heavy rain as well. June the 1st and the 2nd are looking absolutely amazing. The 3rd is even looking even better, potentially. And then as we go into the 4th and the 5th, more showers decides it wants to push up into South Carolina to the 4th, 5th, and the 6th. Maybe even the 7th as well, early morning on the 7th. The 8th, June the 8th, is a bit too far out to talk about right now, but it's looking like a pretty good day that day as well. It's June the 11th that we might have to watch out for a little bit, but I mean, as of now, in terms of severe weather, I'm not seeing anything in terms of severe weather yet. If something does happen, we're just too far out to talk about it as of now. And let's go ahead and talk about just the week in general. So we're going to go ahead and show off our scene 2 and get rid of that. South Carolina, the state of South Carolina, is inside of a more than above average or above average temperature wise this week. It will be above average temperatures this week, so it's not going to be too cool. It's just going to be actually warmer than this time of the year. So pretty much what I mean by above average, it pretty much means that it's going to be warmer than it usually would be this time of the year. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's also going to be below average for precipitation for this time of the year as well. So we're going to have some above average temperatures this week and some below average rainfall this week as well. And that's pretty much that. Let's go ahead and hear from the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. on our live recordings as well. We have a bunch of comments in here today, a bunch of questions to answer. And we will have some discussion to them as well. So we got to start off by showing my cousin who says, "Hello, Joseph. I hope you are well on this Sunday evening. I am doing well. Hello, Jay. You are doing an awesome job. Keep striving for excellence. Thank you for that." We have hi, Joseph, and then hi, Joseph, and then a tornado with a peeking eyes emoji. My grandchildren will be getting back on the road from Chicago to Norfolk, Virginia. I'll be sure to talk to you. When are they, they're leaving, what time are they leaving? Because that's also pretty important. I'm going to guess tomorrow is when they're leaving, because that's very important to know when they're leaving, if you want me to give a forecast on that. Good evening, JP, and then hello, hopefully you and your family are having a fabulous weekend. So proud of you. God has great things in store for you, and then I will. Thank you so much for that. So, let's go ahead and talk about San Antonio first, because he was the first comment. So we're gonna go straight down there first, and we're gonna get that forecast out the way. So, let's go ahead and zoom our way back in, and we're already on the HRRR now. So that's fantastic. In terms of rain, if you're going ahead and continue this for the next couple of days, no rain is really expected as of now for the next 48 or so hours. And then, since no rain is in effect, we will also go ahead and check out temperatures as well. Let's go ahead and zoom our way backwards. You can see the little blue thing up here at the top going very slow today. It was fast for precipitation, and now it wants to be slow for temperatures as well. But a bit of an update as well. There was a tornado emergency just issued. We'll talk about that in just a second. That's a very rare event. For some portion, I think inside. I'll go ahead and check it out in a second. But temperature-wise, for San Antonio for tonight, lows around 78, and then as we go into tomorrow, highs around 105, and then as we get into tomorrow at around 2 o'clock, it will be only around 85 degrees, so a very, very, not really too much of a increase, kind of a decrease actually, in terms of temperatures going into your Tuesday as well. Your Memorial Day, you're going to have a very hot Memorial Day as well. And with no rain, probably comes no any type of severe weather. Possibly some excessive rainfall on Thursday, so you might have to watch out for that. We'll talk about more of that in the future, though. So, I do want to go ahead and talk about this real quick because this is a life-threatening situation down here inside of this is for Kentucky. Over here near Princeton, Kentucky, there's a big, violent, and life-threatening tornado on the ground right now over here near Critter, White Sulphur, and Crowtown inside of Kentucky, near just to the north of Princeton. If you know anybody inside of Princeton or anywhere to the north of Princeton or any of those locations I just called out, please let them know. That is not something that you want to play with, as we just had a mass casualty event yesterday in terms of tornadoes. 14 people died in Texas and Oklahoma yesterday due to tornadoes as well. Very, very unfortunate situation going on there. And I think over 400 people are injured. I'm pretty sure over 400 people from tornadoes yesterday. So that's like one thing that that you have to take seriously. When somebody tells you you have to take shelter, you better do it, because I do not want anybody to be a part of that 400. I don't want anyone, at least that I know, or just anybody in general, to be a part of the 400 people that got injured. I want it obviously to be zero injured and zero deaths, but it happened, and I guess it's just very unfortunate that that happened. But to go to more of a lighter news, I think that this is probably almost it for severe weather, just for the meantime, just a little bit of a break. And let's go ahead and talk about y'all's trip from Chicago down to Norfolk, Virginia. So, it's probably going to take them how long? I'm going to guess that it's probably going to take them less than 2 days or less than 48 hours, I hope. If it doesn't, that's pretty much what I'm covering for the ARRR for the next 2 days or so, for the next 48 hours. So, we're going to go ahead and go to the models, the ARRR model, and we're going to go back to the 18Z. And we're going to just show the rain, because temperature, no, not really any point for temperatures, because they're going to be inside of the car. And cars, they have like their air conditioning, heat, so they should be fine temperature-wise. But rain-wise is something that you're going to have to watch out for. So going into for tomorrow, if we go ahead and show tomorrow, you can see, if they're starting off tomorrow at around like 8, 9 a.m. or so, you can see, right now in Chicago, it's looking fantastic. Most of that weather is actually going to be down there close to us, actually. So while they're driving back, we're going to be having some severe weather down here inside South Carolina. But maybe a couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two when they're driving back from Chicago down to Norfolk, Virginia. I think that's what you said. Let me go back up and check. From Chicago to Norfolk, Virginia, yes. So, maybe a couple of thunderstorms, a couple of showers potentially. But again, it's nothing extreme, just your regular garden variety thunderstorm, so they should be fine coming back. They might have to get that windshield wiper on a couple of times and make sure that they drive slow when they go through rain as well. Not too slow, obviously, because you don't want to cause an accident, but enough to where it's a safe speed. And then that's all the questions that I see. So we have, and then I only see follow you wherever you be loved for your life. Thank you so much for that, and I will. That's all that I have. If we have any other sorts of questions, go on ahead and leave them inside the chat as well. Just another example, just going back on the topic real quick. Another topic, if you get put under a tornado warning for tomorrow, because we do have that 2% risk of tornadoes for tomorrow, pretty much for northern South Carolina. It's not impossible for us to get a tornado warning. It's definitely not impossible. It's a 2% risk. We had a tornado emergency on a 2% risk, not in South Carolina, but over there in Texas, I believe. Actually, I think it was it yesterday? Or was it, I don't know what day it was, but we also did have a tornado warning inside of Ohio, and it was only a 2%. So, again, not impossible for any tornadoes to happen at all for tomorrow. Also, a lightning report up here inside of Virginia. Lightning caused a tree to catch on fire in Harrisonburg, Virginia, as well. So a lot of things going on inside the United States for today. Luckily for South Carolina, there is some good news. Nothing's going on right now except for maybe a thunderstorm up here near Jonesville, South Carolina. But other than that, that's all that I have. So we have great job, thank you, and then thank you. So you're welcome to everyone out there. That said, thank you. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, the like button as well. We are at 109 last time that I checked. Yes, we are. We had 109 subscribers. Make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button as well if you have not already. We're trying to get to 200 by the end of August. Again, by the end of August. And we're also trying to see how far we can get to, how many subscribers we can get to by May the 31st, which is on Friday. So we only have a couple more days left. So I said, but in between, yeah, I'd say like maybe like 110, 115, and we pretty much got there. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. But that's all that I have. So everyone have a fantastic Sunday evening, Sunday night, whatever you prefer. And I will be back tomorrow morning for your Memorial Day. Yes, your Memorial Day forecast update, which it should be a pretty good one, except for with the severe weather on the way. Temperature wise, it's going to be pretty hot though, so, but that's pretty much expected. So everyone have a fantastic Sunday.